So Brisbane's most prestigious uni? It's obviously that one. It's almost definitely built off the back of blood money that was stolen after a horrific and brutal murder at Kangaroo Point. The story goes way back to 1848. A dude named Robert Cox comes into town and he's drinking at a pub that's underneath the Story Bridge on the opposite side of the Brisbane River to the Howard Smith Wharves. He's made a lot of money and he's not afraid to tell everybody about it. Also drinking at the pub is a dude named Patrick Mayne. Now he works just down the road at the meat works, so the guy knows how to cut and pull animals apart. The next day, rich mate Robert Cox, his body is found dismembered and spread all along the banks of Kangaroo Point in just the most grotesque, brutal way. I mean, his head was propped up at a construction site as if it was meant to look at the person who found it. A friend, possibly lover of Robert Cox's, eventually gets tried, charged, and hanged for the murder. The money was never recovered, and conveniently, Patrick Mayne just disappears after this murder. A year later, the once poor meatworks worker Patrick Mayne reappears in Brisbane, buying himself a shop right in the middle of the city with money, who knows where it came from, and a new wife under his arm. Together, they have a number of kids, but over the years, it starts to become clear that Patrick might have a streak of insanity running through him, like a scary streak of insanity. He ends up being one of the first councilmen on the Brisbane City Council, but as time goes on, he ends up being locked away from society because people think he might actually be dangerously insane. At least one of his kids also shows the same signs of insanity and spends decades of her life locked in a room at All Hallows. The remaining kids make a deal that they're not going to get married, they're not going to have kids because this insanity clearly runs in the family bloodline and they don't want to pass it on. Those remaining kids are very rich and also very smart. For example, one of them's a doctor. Him and his sister are the final two kids alive. And when it comes time to work out what to do with their money, they basically give it all to the University of Queensland. They'd already donated the land where the St Lucia campus is, and by the way, originally the university wasn't too flash hot on taking it because they didn't want to murder as land. But also where their shop was on the Queen Street Mall is now the Brisbane Arcade, and all the money that it makes and has made since they died has gone straight back to the University of Queensland's medical school. This story is so much more complex and in-depth and may not even be true. I've done a podcast on it. It was part of my series, Brisbane is Weird. I've chucked a link in my bio. If you want to hear more of it, go check it out.